Test the mic. Mic is good. All right. We will be back. What's up, Raven? All right. Good evening. Hey, Raven, what's up? How are you? How are you doing? Tell you what, let's get this timer off of here. I do need to print something, so give me 1 second. So yeah, so we are going to play our little war game tonight. I've been putzing around with some rough rules, and I played a couple times on, made videos on channel, and with those, had some thoughts about what to do with the game. And so we're going to hopefully, and I do need to print because I got some tables and charts and so on that I printed up there. So give me one moment. Okay, it's going. Now I'm good, Raven. I'm good. Yeah, we're I'm writing a war game just because just cause. So we'll play. We'll see if it makes any sense. Um, I've often looked for sort of either operational or strategic level games to do sort of what if scenarios. I wouldn't say it's like Risk exactly, since it's a little bit it's sort of halfway between that and a hex encounter sort of war game, right? So it takes a little bit from, say, an Axis and Allies kind of vibe. It takes a little bit from a game that I used to love a long time ago called Civil War, which is a very heavy war game. And it tries to put a hard emphasis on leaders and characters. And I think we're going to add, at a later date, we're not there yet, Dragons versus Cyclops. Yes. That's the that's the end goal. Let me tell you something right now. That's the end goal. But yeah, we're going to add some diplomacy later on. So like the ability to manipulate neutrals, the ability for the leaders to take independent action, and because they're going to be the focus of diplomacy, or if you're doing subterfuge or assassinating someone, right, or so on and so forth, right? We're going to have that sort of vibe going for it. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure that the movement and the battle mechanics make sense. So that's sort of where I'm at right now. I have not yet added, so there's no neutral parties in this scenario, and nothing, and the leaders primarily, what the most that they'll be doing probably is fighting each other on the battlefield. So it's not quite Risk, since Risk is very much a area control, a much bigger game in that sense, scale wise. This is a much smaller game scale wise. This is more of an almost an operational level kind of thing. You have quote unquote these, but seeing as that we are there you go. So yeah, so I'm working on those, and those might be critical. Like I said, in some scenarios, you might have a situation where it's like, well, there's X neutral parties here, and you need to do diplomacy with them to get them on your side, that kind of thing. Whereas the other side is trying to stop that or kill your diplomats or whatever, right? So I'm going for that sort of vibe where there's this almost a secondary game. But this, unfortunately, this is not that. This one is more initiative, movement, battle. How does that all work, right? So I did play a couple, but we're going to pretend that we haven't and just start from the top here. So this scenario is sort of an outpost kind of idea, and the humans theoretically are somewhere up here in the north. The goblins are somewhere here in the southwest. These are their expeditionary forces here. And they're both trying to capture these mines, right? So each hex is 5 or 6 miles or something of that nature, maybe. Each whole turn is a week-ish. I don't know if the scales work out. I'll have to figure that out. Each counter represents 100-ish to couple hundred men, something like that. And the green hexes, the light green, are clear, so they're easy to move through. These are woods, forests. These are hills. These all hamper movement somewhat. The road here is the brown that cuts right through the hexes. That is slightly easier to move across. This, of course, the hand-drawn hex side here is the river. And those can be crossed, obviously, here and here and here. Or they can be forded, possibly, with there's a chance that you could, so if you try to ford a river, it's about a 50-50 chance that it will be fordable at that point. Or you will lose your turn, effectively trying to cross the river. So you're going to want to use the bridges, possibly, if you can, because it's easier to do so. This is the. So, well, what they're going to claim is they're going to try. So here's sort of exactly where the. So we have 4 camps, quote unquote, 4 main sites. So you have Skulls, which is named after Lord Skulls here, and these are essentially, this is like the outpost town, right? This is the men's as close to civilization as you get. It's a quote unquote small town, hard to take. If you took it, that would almost assure victory for the goblins. That's who these guys down south are. Here's the logging camp. So this is an outpost here, presumably to log the rich forests here. Again, another human camp. You don't want the goblins to get here. That would be bad. Down south, you have the 2 goblin bases, Croag's camp, and the head of the center of the goblin jihad, the Great Khan's camp here. Again, you don't want the humans to come down and take these. That would be, so we'll go over the victory points here, but presumably you're trying to defend these and then take the 3 middle ground. So, my guess is it will never be for sale. It might be sitting somewhere in my Google Docs somewhere at some point. And the scenarios are just whatever, right? We can make anything up. That what I'm trying to test is the base rules, like just the rules. The maps and stuff, we can just make new ones whenever we need to make new ones. These 3 are the sites which we're going to be fighting over: the West Mine, the Old Watch Post, and the East Mine. The Watch Post will give us the ability, more commands, and we'll talk about that. The West and East Mine will give us commands and minerals. Materials, I should say. They could be minerals, but it's material. There's only 2 resources. There's commands and material. Getting and holding the mines is going to be the victory condition primarily. I'm a little annoyed because I I do need to do one thing. Give me 1 second. Let me save this real quick just in case. Demo overwrite. I do want to load the old run because I had a victory point thing. Save object, victory points. Done. Okay. Now let me reload the other one. There we go. Now I should be able to load the victory point totals in here. Objects, saved objects, somewhere. Hey, good evening, Bradley. How are you, man? So the victory points are as follows. No food needed. We don't want to go to that degree. You have material. Material is sort of a catch-all for everything that you need to function, right? So, taking one of the 2 mines will score 3 victory points. Taking the old watch post up here, since it doesn't produce any material, is worth 2 victory points. And by taking it, I mean you have occupied the hex. You have entered the hex. You can lose those points if you were subsequently kicked out of the hex. But if you were the last person to pass through, you will get the points. Taking one of the enemy camps is 5. Killing the Great Khan here is 5 points. And killing Skulls is 3 points. So these are the respective leaders of their factions here, or at least in this area. Killing any other leader gives you 2 points. And then finally, every material gained from the mine, and you can get up to 1 a turn, will get you a point. And we'll play until y'all get tired of me, pretty much. And then we'll see who has won by the end. So that is approximately it. We'll be talking through the various parts of the game as we go. And I will be sort of talking through it, for your purpose and for mine, sort of as just a mental, like I'm rubber ducking this, right? So I'm talking at it just so I can vaguely, make sure that it sounds like it makes sense and that I can explain it, etc. So let's talk real quick about our 5 leaders, actually. We only have 5 leaders in this particular map here. Again, trying to keep it super simple and small because I had to create all these counters and stuff, so I didn't want it to be too much. So we have the human faction here. We have Nobleman Sir Skulls, which is a terrible name, but whatever. Skulls here is... So there's 6 stats, of which really probably only 3 or 4 are really super useful right now, given the state the game is in. Initiative, you want a low number. You did not miss Blackberry Whiskey Night. Actually, I forgot and did not buy it the night I needed to buy it. So I have to try it this coming week here. So initiative of 4 is mediocre. 3 would be good. 2 is excellent. 5 is crappy. So Skulls here is older, maybe a little slower on his feet than he would like to be. So it takes him a lot to get his troops up and moving. His command is 1, which is good. His diplomacy is 2, which is decent, very good. His subterfuge is -1, so him escaping or committing an assassination or something of that nature is pretty crappy. And his logistics is 0, and his prowess, which is his single combat. Oh, Raven's mad. Raven's mad. She missed the that I did not get to the blackberry whiskey. That sounds so gross. Every time I say it, it tweaks my my fight or flight response. And his prowess, which is his ability in single combat, is 0, so average. 0 is average, and negative is bad. The only number that is better as it's lower is initiative, the first number here. So Skulls is a competent commander. Voltus here is not quite as competent. He is a little putsy. His initiative is terrible, 5. He is absolutely lazy. His command is bad, -1. His diplomacy is good, and his skullduggery there is decent. He is a logistics master. He is administratively amazing, and his prowess in single combat, he would lose to most of the other combatants on the field here. So what to do with him? He's going to be rough. He's sort of just managing the camp. Sheriff Thompson is keeping the peace. His initiative is great. His command is great. He's not a good liar, -2. His logistics is fine, and his prowess is good. But Thompson is a rank 0 civilian commander and can only manage deputies and militia, as opposed to regulars, woodsmen, archers, etc. He can be promoted, Thompson, but that's going to require him to do something which warrants his promotion. So the leaders on the human side, Thompson is great but limited, and the other two are sort of okay, fine-ish. And Voltus is just sort of crappy, but he's great if you want to build stuff or recruit folks. The Great Khan is sort of gathering his forces for the Goblin Jihad, which is going to push the humans out of the valley, out of the hills here. His initiative is good at a 3. His command skill is good. He's not a big talker. Decent at subterfuge, decent at logistics, strangely, and very powerful, right? And he is trying to gather some forces so that he can boot the humans out of Dodge here. His subordinate, Proag, is terrible at his job. His initiative is good. He is anxious to prove himself, but his command has proven lacking. His logistics has proven lacking. His subterfuge is great, but I don't have. Look, sure, depends on what side you're looking at it at this point. But yes, the goblins are the bad guys, supposedly. I'm in either way. I could, if we're playing the goblins, they're the good guys. If we're playing the humans, since we're playing a neutral party, I'm just looking at this as a geopolitical battle as opposed to a battle between good and evil. His prowess is okay. His command and logistics is bad. It's going to be very hard for him to do the recruiting or whatever, except in one case, and that these guys do have special abilities. Let's take a quick look at the special abilities. So Skulls is a seasoned warrior, and he can actually fight alongside his troops. Doing so increases his chance of being injured or killed in a battle. Keep that in mind. Thompson can recruit deputies at any settlement with an SN of 6, which means about a 50-50 chance. That's out of 12, 6 out of 12. But since he's a civilian, he can only lead irregulars. He has to gain a rank and then he can lead military units. Once he reaches rank 2, which I didn't write here, he can no longer recruit deputies. He becomes a military commander, and his call over the deputies is gone. Voltus is surprising because he's so lazy. If he leads from the front, his entire front rank gets a +1 to attack because they're like, what? I didn't think he ever came out of his tent. So those are the abilities of the human commanders. The Great Khan, he essentially gives commands as though he was a site. So he is bolstering their number of commands. And Purger, since he knows that Croag is terrible as a leader, if he manages to get rid of Croag or Croag is killed, then the replacement for Croag costs nothing. Croag is a dumb barbarian. He can fight as a very powerful unit, like a wolf rider kind of thing. And literally, he is right. He technically is the most powerful unit in the game, but he's just terrible at commanding troops. And he's a wolf. He's a wolf buddy recruit. Retuit. Come on, man. What do we got here? I do wish that. I wish that there was support for monospaced fonts in fonts that literally every character took exactly the same amount of space. That would make these note cards so much more useful for all kinds of things in game. We can recruit riders in any site that is next to a woods hex with a SN of 4. Now, unfortunately, there's only one site that actually fits that aren't human sites, so it's a little bit of a thing. He has to be at his camp right now. So, quick strategies before we start. I think in the couple test games I've run with this particular map. Now I've drawn this map. I drew it at home, and it was a little different when I drew it on my table. And then I drew this in Hex Kit, and it ended up like this. And I'm like, I'm good enough. This is the map for now. In this map, this is usually the most contested spot right here. And just because of the way that the map sort of SN4 means that it's a 4 out of 12 to do it successfully any given attempt. So you could write that as, you could just say the success number is 4 out of 12. So it's about a 1/3 chance every time he tries to get one. So typically I've been putzing around with different ways to go about this, and I think a couple things. First thing I think is I need to get Thompson a promotion to allow him to manage real troops. And so the first thing Thompson is going to do is run and capture the old watch post, because that will give him the one experience he needs to manage because doing victory point things get you experience, and he needs one to level up. The rest of these guys need at least 2 to level up because they're already level 1 and you're going to level 2 and so on. He is technically Thompson's level 0 effectively is sort of the idea. So if we can get him 1 XP, he can level up, and then he will be able to handle real troops, and then he becomes more powerful. I'm considering moving Voltus as quickly as possible over here, and to use that logistics score, right? He has a logistics of 3, so he's actually very good at recruiting and getting troops ready for the front line, just not so good at once he gets them to the front line. So if he can feed troops up to Skulls, who moves south to the mine, that's gonna be sort of the plan. Now the problem there is this east mine is going to be wide open, but it's very hard for the humans to get down here quickly enough to beat, say, the Great Khan. Having said that, beating him to the watch post is pretty trivial. Because Thompson is pretty fast getting move on. So I think that's what we're going to do. The goblins. I think the goblins. So we have 2 riders and 2 rabble here. So keep in mind, as long as we have the riders are hillmen. Now I've made a really super shorthand for their abilities. Don't have to worry about. They're charge and hillmen. So they effectively don't have any movement penalties in the hills, and they're always in supply in the hills. So he can go pretty quickly to get to this west mine. So he may be able to beat the humans to the west mine. But holding the west mine becomes the issue. And so it's sort of a decision whether you rush the west mine with Croag or you wait to recruit, say, 2 more wolf riders and then have a very, very powerful... They're the most powerful unit in this scenario, are the wolf riders. And the Great Khan, I think we're just going to have to push it to get this east mine occupied, meaning get it get it in production, and then once we get it in production, then see what to do next. Then sort of react to the way the map has progressed. And I think that's what we're going to do with both sides. So the humans are going to sort of shift left and down, and then use Thompson to get to here, and then sort of hold. The goblins are going to push to the east mine, and Croag is going to, I'm going to make a game time decision. Make a game time decision there whether to try to get more riders. Because him and 4 riders could be, Croag and 4 riders is pretty rough for a bunch of humans to beat. The Great Khan and Skulls are what we call rank 2, meaning they can command up to 10 units. Voltis and Croag are rank 1, they can command 6 units. Thompson is rank 0, he can command 4 units. And civilians only. Done. So that is sort of the rough rundown of how we're going to play this. Bradley, how are you? And I think we can get started, right? So I think that's it. I think we're ready to roll. There's not so much to it, really. So the turn sequence is fairly straightforward. We don't have any random events yet in the game, so there's an event phase which doesn't happen this particular scenario. We have a site phase, which we don't need this scenario. What you do is you check each site to see if they recover any manpower. And that is based on the size right there, the size of 3. So that's the out of 12, right, to get your manpower back. Whereas these are a size of 2. The Khan's camp is actually the biggest with a size of 4, not because it's necessarily big, but because that's where he is staging his rallying point to gather goblins from all in the countryside. And Krovag's camp is a size of 2. So these manpower, we have 2 manpower here, 3 here, 3 up here, I believe, and then 2 over here. Once you run out of those, you can't recruit anymore. You're sort of done. But manpower comes back fairly slowly. So we would check, but that's it. We don't really have to check this turn because no one's used anything. There's no neutrals, so we don't have any phase that deals with sort of the neutrals doing anything. And so we go straight to action phases. So for the action phase, we roll initiative. Each side rolls 2d6. The humans are on top, the goblins are on the bottom. And we get a 9 and a 7. Oh, so I will say this. We do get commands. And I already counted up how many everyone gets. Oh, the humans do have, I did not, the humans do have one other thing which I did not talk about, which is they have effectively off-map. They get 4 commands from off the map, essentially. Whoa, that is gigantic. I don't know how that happened. That is impressive. So off the map, they get 4 commands, meaning their their liege lord, whoever commands Lord Skulls, is giving them some support, some advisement, extra military support, whatever it is, to allow them to get commands. So they have 14 total commands every turn. The goblins have 12. 4 from this camp, 4 from this camp, 4 from the Great Khan himself. The humans get 4, 6 from Skulls, since it is a little town, and then 4 from the off map, 4 from the Baron or whatever who's off map. The humans get 3 material, the goblins get 2 material. I will put a little bit of text here. Let's put commands, material, and victory points. There you go. So those are our 3 categories here. No one has any victory points to start, of course. So the goblins win initiative by 2, meaning they can spend 2 commands this impulse. And the turn just goes in impulses, meaning the goblins will spend 2, the humans will spend 2, we'll roll again. Until we either spend down or roll the same number, in which case the turn might end. So, the question is, what do the goblins do with 2 commands? Well, I think what they're going to do with 2 commands, so recruiting a unit takes 2 commands. So making an attempt to recruit costs 2 commands. So they're going to recruit here with Croag using his ability to recruit Wolf Riders at a 4 or less. So they spend 2 commands. And I would love to get a little bit more vertical. They spend 2 commands, and they're going to attempt, I'm going to put this D4 over here. Croag is going to attempt to recruit. His chances for 4, 3, 2, or 1, and he is going to succeed. So he needs to spend a manpower. He needs to spend the number of materials it costs to get a Wolf Rider. Now, I happen to know that everyone but deputies and militia cost 1, except for the Wolf Riders. They cost 2. So they're going to spend all of their material to get a rider. So that's very expensive for the goblins. So 1 manpower, 2 material, and 2 commands. But Croag has called a wolf from the woods. Done. The humans now can spend their 2 commands. They could recruit, but we're going to... So, to move your stack of troops, to move a singular unit on the board costs a single command. But to move your stack, it costs your initiative. And Thompson's initiative is 2. We're going to spend 2, and we're going to activate Thompson here. And we're going to move, the deputies have a move of 4. So through clear terrain, they can move 4 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're getting Thompson down there. Done. And that's it. That's the first impulse. So we just roll again. So each of these little mini turns takes almost no time. And so now we have the goblins by 3. So the goblins have won by 3. So they have to spend, by the way, 3 commands. They can't pass and not spend any commands. Even if they do nothing, they're going to burn 3 commands. So they're going to use their 3 commands. Oh, and they cannot recruit out of here anymore because they've done it once this turn. We could either just recruit here and just get a recruit, or we could start moving to the mine with what we've got. And like I said, I don't think there's any danger that they don't beat the humans to the east mine. But the only thing they can recruit, the goblins have 1 troop that costs no materials. It's rabble. And the rabble are sort of the militia of the goblins. These are their combat values of 2. The warriors have combat values of 4. And you can think of that as the chance in 12 that they hit someone or the chance in 12 they can survive a hit. So the warriors will roll a die and a 4 or less they will hit. The rabble a 2 or less. So they're sort of crappy is what it comes down to. I think we're just going to spend 3 and we're going to move the Great Khan. So 1, 2, 3. And the reason he can only move 3 instead of 4 is because he enters the hills. 1, 2, 3. As soon as you enter the hills, you lose a movement point. Same thing with the woods. So we have spent 3 and moved the Khan. And now it's the humans' turn. The humans 3. I'm going to activate Thompson again. Every unit can move once an impulse. So we're going to spend 2 and move Thompson. So he's going to go 1, 2, and 3 again. That spends 2, but we have to spend 1 more. And we don't have anything we can do with 1 right now. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to do another mechanic, which is I can also spend materials to allow me to spend the extra command. So of my 3, I've spent 2. So I have 1 left. Let me try to recruit, but that's going to cost me 2 commands. So we're going to spend down to 8 instead, and 1 material to allow us to do that. So we can buy essentially more initiative almost with materials. And we're going to recruit here. And Skulls has a command of 1 and a logistics of 0. So when he tries to recruit someone, he gets a +1. It's the higher of those 2. So let's buy him an archer. So 4 or less for him to recruit. Voltes would be much better at this. 2, he gets 1. So it's going to cost us a material, a manpower. So that manpower goes away. But we do get another archer on our stack here. And the humans are done. And so now we're on to the next impulse. Ooh, 11 to 4. That is a difference of 7. So the goblins are going to literally spend out. So they will be done with their turn here at the end of this. So what do we want to do? We're going to act... so let's be careful here. The con... So, okay, we're going to now... I hate to do this like I'm info dumping on you, right? We're going to introduce supply. So supply, you can only go 8... The supply travels 8 hexes from any site that you own. You don't want to be out of supply typically. You lose movement, you lose attack, you lose defense, and at the end of the turn you lose min if you're out of supply. So the con could go 1, 2, 3, 4, but the question would be, so let's say he's here. How far away is that from here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he could, and now mind you, the supply also has to move like a unit. So if it's on the road, it gets a little bit more movement, and if it goes through the hills, it loses 1 movement. So that's sort of how it works. So he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the Great Khan would be into supply to this point. But moving any further would cause him to potentially be out of supply. So we are going to want to figure out where to put a supply. Oh, yeah. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful. We don't have any materials, so we can't build a supply marker. So you can literally put markers down on the board, and that extends your supply. But those can be captured by the enemy. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the con 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. So that's going to be 3 of our points. So we're going to spend 1, 2, 3 to move the con, and the con moves there. I'm going to spend 2 more. So 1, 2, to try to recruit here. And we're going to have to recruit rabble here. And the rabble is a 5 or less. Rabble and militia are easy to recruit, but they're generally crappy combatants. Oh, oops, I just picked the bag of regulars up. Not what I wanted. And he does get a rabble there. And he uses a manpower to do it. So it's not free. And he still has 2 left. I don't have and we've recruited here, so we're sort of done for that turn. And unfortunately, I have anything to do with the last 2 points right now. Do I have anything to do at all? I could conduct diplomacy or subterfuge, which don't make it. I mean, I don't have those in the game. So recruiting, we've done. I could move a singular unit. I could move a singular leader without but I don't want to do any of that. And so the goblins spend their last 2 and wait, and they are done. And now the humans are up for 7. Oh, and we have recruited an archer here. So I'm going to turn these to the side to indicate no more recruiting out of skulls this turn. We're going to activate Thompson for 2. 1, 2. Thompson moves into the old watch post. So I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to put a snap point there. I'm going to put a marker there to show that they have taken that. And Thompson moves into the watch post. Done. So that's 2. I'm going to wait 1 minute before anything else, but he is going to score. Takes the watch post is 2 victory points. So he has taken the watch post. They could lose those victory points, but he's taken them right now. And that's 2 of the 7 that we can spend. Now, the other thing that this does, taking this, is it gives them supply, right? So it extends from 8 from here now. So the humans have extended their supply down to the road almost. We're going to move Voltus by himself. So he is in the camp. He's not up here. He's actually, I didn't want to stack them on top of each other, so I put that here to indicate these guys were actually here, but now they're all there. Voltus is going to move by himself, and because he is a sole leader moving by himself, he spends 1 and can go up to 8. On the road, that means 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Voltus is moving over to here where we want to station him to use his logistical prowess to get us units. Yes, the watch post is like a little fortification, and being in the hills is another bonus to defense. Now, I don't have good rules for fortifications yet. I have some crappy ones, which I'm going to use for this battle. There you go. So Voltus moves. So that's 3 points I've spent out of the 7 I'm allowed to spend this impulse. I'm going to move skulls. So that's going to be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's everything. So we're going to move Lord Skulls down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So he is making his way toward the West Mine. But he's going to have to drop supply also, because if you count this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The best he can do on the road is get supplied to here. That's not enough to get... I mean, he could get to the mine, but he has to be in supply to take it. So he's going to have to drop supply. Now, ideally, I'm going to want to drop it up here on this side of the river to make it a little bit harder to capture for the goblins. Now, we have 1 point left, which is sort of pointless. But it's not pointless exactly, because we get another impulse. and we get a 10 and a 9. So the humans win by 1, so they can spend 1. And we're going to move Voltus again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And Voltus arrives in Skulls. The humans are done, and the turn is over. The humans can bank material at the various sites up to their size. They will bank a material here in Skulls. Done. So after turn 1, you've got the Great Khan moving to the East Mine. Thompson has taken the watch post. Skulls is moving to West Mine. Voltus has taken up, mayorship of Skulls to recruit units for the Lord. Croag has gotten 1 rider, but has not yet moved. So we're going to turn these back to make sure we know they're not tapped. And we are going to start. Now, we would look and see, is anyone out of supply? No one's out of supply. If they were, we would demoralize them and you would roll for attrition. But no one's out of supply. Everybody is in supply. Yeah, so the watch post was in supply, so you could take it. Thompson was not out of supply when he took the watch post, or else he couldn't take it. Got to pay attention to supply. The first couple times I was playing this, I was like, oh, right, he's out of supply. He can't just blitz the West Mine. You have to drop a marker somewhere first. Stuff like that. So, all right. So, when we get back to the beginning of the turn, so this is turn 2. I need I'm going to copy this die. Done. So it's turn 2. There you go. So it's turn 2. We're going to check each of these sites real quick. So this site needs a manpower. So we roll in a 3 and 12. It will recover one of its manpower. No. This site did not use manpower. The logging camp, Croag's camp, and Khan's camp both used manpower. So let's roll for Croag's camp. Nope. The Khan's camp is a 4 or less. And it does get its manpower back. So the Khan's camp is gathering goblins for the Goblin Jihad. And as you can see, I mean, over the course of 3 turns, you'll deplete 1 or more of these sites, meaning no more recruiting. So there is sort of an upper limit to, what you can keep throwing at the enemy, right? And units die quick, so potentially. So there has to be a little. So I have to figure that balance out. Like, is there a point where no one can do anything because they just had they killed each other right in battle, and no one has any manpower, and so on and so forth. So I have to think about that. But that's one of the reasons we're here. So once we do that and we get everybody their stuff here, their manpower back, we now give their commands 14 for the humans still. 12 for the goblins, and that'll be about the same until someone takes someone's camp or kills the leader, Croag, or the Khan, and so on. And we get 3 material and 2 material. Damn, and at some point the goblins are very much hampered by their material situation early as well. So they're going to have to manage that and hopefully getting the mine. So we have to really focus on getting that East Mine, I think, started. So that's it. And I'll tell you what. So let me be back in 4 minutes, and I will go grab a drink, and I will be back, and then we will actually start rounds here, start impulses. So give me a tiny bit. All right, so we are drinking David E, which is a Pennsylvania rye whiskey. Um, so we'll see. It's okay. It's okay. Not my super favorite, but it was new. I didn't know what it was going to be like, so I was like, well, let me get it and try it. And it's local, so not local, but in my state. It definitely has that mint high note that some ryes have. But okay, decent all around. So we're going to start impulses now. So what does that mean? It means we roll initiative. 11 and 9, so humans by 2. So the humans get to go first. Boone Strawberry one. Jesus, Raven, what are you doing? Oh my God. That. So we're going to utilize Voltis here. And Voltis can recruit regulars. His logistics is 3. His command is 2, or -1, I should say. So the total is 2. So he can recruit regulars at a 4 or less. So we are going to recruit ourselves some regulars here. So we're going to use 2 commands to recruit. Voltis rolls a 4, 3, 2, or 1 to get that done. He rolls a 5. He doesn't have to spend the material if he fails, which he did. Commands are spent, though. It's goblins for 2, and we're going to do the same with yeah, oh, he would. Oh, he'd be appalled at you. Croag, remember, he can recruit wolf riders at 4, so that's what he's going to try to do. And if he gets 4 wolf riders, oh yeah, they're. So we're going to burn. Oh wait, we can't do that. I mean, we can do that, but we can't. Okay, let me take that back. So here's the thing: if he does that, he's going to burn the 2 materials that they have up here, which means he won't be able to drop a supply marker, which means he won't be able to reach the east mine this whole turn. So we might have to forego the wolf rider. So we're going to forego the wolf rider. And instead, that sucks. That sucks because that was a good roll, and they would have probably rolled out with like 4 wolf riders. Oh man, and just tried to bull rush that mine and dare Skulls to take it. So instead, the goblins with their 2 commands, they're going to drop supply here. Duh, that's easy. Okay. We're going to build supply. And building supply is did I write something? No, I did. Okay. Well, I got numbers here. 2 commands and a material possibly. So we're going to use 2 commands, which they did already spend the commands. And the Great Khan here, using his logistics of 2, is going to roll a 10 or less to put a supply marker down. Looks like a 10 or less? Yes, 10 or less. So the Khan puts supply here. So we're just going to leave a marker there. To let us know that we are going to be in supply. Actually, what I want to do is let me put a tick there because I want to lock it down too and everything. So, because otherwise I'll pick it up and move it. Oh, whoa. See? Like, I don't even know what that was. I picked up the board. Well, that was dumb. I thought that board was locked down. Are you mean to tell me the board is not locked down? Oh, yeah, man. I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, tabletop sim. I must have unlocked the board. And so that's 2 commands. So we're done. And we have to use material to do that, and we will. Oh, geez, oh man. Can I get that in there? That's a new game. There we go. All right. And there we go. So that took way too long to get us to the point where we're now 7 and 6. Humans by 1. Ugh. Okay, that's not helpful. Oh, we need to level Thompson up too. Son of a bitch. Okay, end of the turn. We're gonna level up Thompson because he's our guy. So let's assume that we did that at the end of last turn. So at the end of a turn, if you have a guy who can level up, which Thompson can, we're gonna level him up. Now the problem is I actually wrote these counters, so these counters may not be correct anymore. So what I have is I do have their stats over here. So Thompson is going to be rank 1. Well, you have the option to rank him up when he levels. So we are going to do that. The problem is his initiative might get 1 worse because as you get promoted, you might get shittier. You might be not suited to command that number of troops. So it's a 50-50 chance unless we spend extra materials to lower the chance. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to go 1, 2 and lower the chance to 4. So it's 4 and 12 that he gets a crappier initiative. And he does not. So he is rank 1 with a 2 initiative. Now he can pick a stat to try to raise at 5 out of 12. But if it's higher, it's harder to do. And we'll do logistics just cause. So logistics is a 1, so it's a 4 out of 12 chance. No, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do command. Command at a 3 and 12 chance to get to a 3. So 3 and 12. No, that danced a lot of places, so that did not go up. And then logistics at a 2 and 12. And he does. So his logistics goes up to 2. And you could spend to raise that chance also. To try to, right, to try to get your guy to do, right, if you have enough material saved up, you can train him and try to get a good your leader as good as you possibly can. Thompson's got a 2. What I'm gonna do, I don't know what I'm gonna do to denote that. I'm gonna cheese a little bit. That totally didn't work. I'm gonna cheese a little bit. And I'm going to just put that on him so that I know I need to go look somewhere else to see his. Or I'll tell you what I can do. Oh, how do I break that? How do I break that hit? I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. I'm not sure how I break that. Well, I control Z'd it. There you go. So what we're going to do is instead, I will put a little green marker next to him. Tiny, 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 tiny. So even more, so that way I'll show it's a +1 to that. It'll be really super clunky and probably not worth the effort that I have gone through to do it. but I will put a little plus there and then attach it. Done. How about a grasshopper? Sure. So his logistics is a 2 now. So there you go. So there you go. So we leveled him up. That was the end of last turn, and we forgot, blah, blah, blah. So the humans now have one thing they can do. Well, 1 point they can spend. So I am going to use my 1 point, and I'm going to move this regular 1, 2, 3, 4 down. We're gonna reinforce Thompson, since now he can control a couple more dudes, and so on. Now the goblins get to spend 1, and I don't know that there's anywhere they can spend 1. I mean, I can. So actually I can. That's not true. I'm going to spend my 1 command. I'm going to move the rabble 1, 2, 3. Done. I don't know what number that is. That is a... Oops. Oh, crap. I do like beer. I don't drink much beer anymore. Primarily because I went on a diet several years ago where I cut out carbs, and beer got cut effectively as one of the things. So goblins win by 2. Oh, geez, oh man! If I could stop screwing up the dice, that'd be great. So goblins win by 2. I'm going to do 1 and move the rabble here to go and be added to the Khan's army. And then I'll just spend the other 1 and just be done, because I don't have anything to do with a second singular point. The humans now have 2. Hmm. So if we look at the Khan has 2 warriors and 3 rabble. Thompson is fast, but right now he has 2 deputies, so nothing's a good fight for him right now. We need to reinforce him if we're going to actually get him anything going. I probably will do that. I will move 2 points worth of dudes, 1, 2, 3, and we will move a woodsman, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to feed Thompson a little bit. I do like beer. I do like dark beer, and I do like IPAs. Scott has mostly turned me on to IPAs, but I like a good stout or a Guinness, right, or something of that nature, or a porter. But yeah, several years ago, I lost like 30 pounds on keto, and beer went away. So we've rolled doubles. So what happens when we roll doubles is we then roll this die. We give everybody D4 plus 1 commands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We then mark somewhere. I'm going to just copy and paste this die, because now there's a 2 in 12 chance that once we complete this impulse, that the turn ends immediately. Ooh, goblins by 8. Okay, that's cool. We're going to spend 3, and we're going to move the Great Khan. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And he rolls onto the road here. Moving entirely on a road gives you 1 extra move. Keto was a very easy way for me to maintain a calorie deficit. Like, if you really do follow it, at some point, once the initial "oh God, what am I doing" wears off, it is very very nice to do that. So, um, so we've spent three of the eight. So the Khan has moved. He spent three of the eight. I think we're going to put some pressure on the mine also. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, these guys are hillmen, so they can actually move fairly easily. So that's been 6 of the 8. We have 2 left. Let's pull a rabble down here. Oh, and this card is wrong, isn't it? It is wrong. Gosh darn it. I knew that. There's no riders here. It's rabble and warriors here. But the warriors have just a better chance to show up here. Oh yeah, pasta will kill you. I mean, that's yes, 100%. I'm going to recruit rabble down to here. So it's 5 or less. No. And that has spent 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2 more. So he's left with 3 points now, and the humans get 8. We're going to move skulls for 4. Oh, no, we cannot move skulls for 4 just as of yet. That is true. What we're going to do is we are going to use skulls here to... His logistics is 0. He has an 8 or less chance to drop supply. So he's going to drop a supply in that spot. Looks like an 8. That's a success. We're going to use this material here. And we have a supply marker here. Now, on the road might be a little dicey because it just makes it a little easier for the bad guys to get at it. So he drops supply. That's 2 of his commands. He's going to use 4 more commands to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the mine. So Skulls takes the mine. Well, we already have a dot there, so perfect. Now that's going to get us 3 more VP. So we go 1, 2, 3. It also gives Skulls an experience that he can, but he can't level up yet, but that's fine. We'll just put a marker next to him just so we know. So that is 6. And then we're going to go 7 and move this regular in, and 8 to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we roll to see whether or not the turn ends. 2 and 6, and the turn goes away, and everyone's stuff. Yep, so the turn ends now. So these commands are done. We clear them out. The material has to go and be put on a site here, so they get 1. And we're going to put 1 here. And the humans have taken a nice, comfortable position. I feel like I should have waited for another wolf or something, but I feel he has 3 riders, 2 rabble. Let me. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Okay, so let's look for manpower to be replenished. So size 3, 3 or less. No. Okay, Voltish, you stay there, buddy. 2 or less, 2 or 1. No. And they did not use any manpower. So we're done. We're good. Now we get our commands, 14 and 12. Three and 2. And we are ready to roll here. Nine and 6. So humans by 3. I'm definitely going to move 1 to get this woodsman down there. And there's my reinforcement. So we've spent 1 so far. We have 2 more to spend. Volts is going to recruit regulars at a 4 or less. Yes. So 1, 2, 1 material. And he gets a regular with him. Done. Oh, and a manpower. But Skulls is down to 1 manpower. So keep that in mind. The goblins get 3 points to spend. I think we activate the Great Khan. 1, 2, 3. And the Great Khan's going to roll into East Mine. And that's going to do, of course, primarily it's going to score him the 3 victory points. Give the Khan 1 experience. So 1, 2, 3. Khan gets 1 experience. We'll put it up here. And that's it. That's his turn. Now, no one has activated their sites yet because they haven't spent to do so. So we will see if that happens here. We need 4 or more initiative typically to do it. Oh, and there you go. You're going to get 4. So the humans by 4 right now. That's a 7. Well, I can not fumble more, huh? So we get humans by 4. So I say we're going to try Skulls' luck here. The chance is only 4 and 12 because of his logistics is 0. But 4 and 12, that's not bad. We're going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to try it. It's 4, 3, 2, or 1. Let's go. We don't need low numbers. That almost flipped with 3, but he does not activate the mine. Done. And well, I suppose now the goblins are going to try it. Now he's a 2. So we're going to activate the mine at a 6 or less. So the Khan here is a little bit of a economic genius, but he also fails. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And we roll again. Uh, 7 and 4. So 3. Humans by 3. We could spend a material and try again, but I don't think we're going to. Oh, maybe. Hard to say. Or we could do something else. We could try to discourage Croag from making that move. So for 2 commands, 1, 2, we are going to try to fortify this spot. And that's a 6. And we roll a 9. So we do not fortify the spot. And we have 1. For 1 point, we're going to move this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have spent 3 points. I think we clicked it down. I'm not 1,000% sure. We might have clicked 2 of the points. The goblins now have 3 points to spend. So the goblin's going to burn 1 material from here. They're going to spend 4 commands. 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 3. And they're going to use the Great Khan again to try to get his mine up and running. Ah! And that was an expensive fail. But okay, they're done. Uh, 9 and 4, so we have 5. So it's goblins by 5. But I don't have any commands left. And we can't get more commands. So unfortunately, I think we're going to be done as the goblins. So we just spend down to 0 and he's done. The humans get another shot here. I suppose we're going to try the mine again at 4 or less. I could get Volts down here, Voltis down here, and maybe he can start the mine. But that seems like a lot of... So we're going to do 4. Well, we're going to spend 1 first and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to pull this regular in. And then Skulls is... Oh, we only have... Ooh, no. We only have 4 commands left. So hold on. Careful there. We're just going to try to activate the mine. 4 or less. Darn, done. Okay, and the commands are done. We burned out of commands real fast. I'm going to put material here and here. And then, hell, I'll put material here. And 1 over here for giggles. Done. And that is the end of the turn. Manpower check for the humans up top. It's a 3 or less. It's the red die. And we're going to grab a material. Manpower, I'm sorry. Manpower up there. Down here, it's a 2 at Croag's camp. And he fails. Well, the town fails. And that's it. We get our requisite commands. And commands. And material and material. And initiative. 7 and 7. So right now there's a 2 in 6 chance that the turn ends early. Everybody gets 2 more commands to spend. So it either means the turns go very long or the turns go super short. Oh, 3 and 2. We can spend a whole point. Let's move that regular. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we reinforce, spend our point. The goblins do not have anything. The black die keeps rolling a 9. It's a cheat die. It is. It's a cheat die. 4 and 5. Holy crap. Okay. I don't think anyone has anything. I mean, we could technically send a regular 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to send our regular down, just leaving the militia. And the goblins don't have anything to spend a point on right now. So a single point. So they're a little bit... 6 and 5. Wow. Okay. Humans move 1. They don't move 1. Wow. It's a weird turn. I'm going to say the weather's bad. 8 and 5. So we finally get 3. That works. We finally get a 3 initiative round. For 3 initiative, again, I think Skulls is going to try. He's going to try to fortify. So that's going to cost him 2 commands. He's going to have to spend 3, so he does. 2 commands, and he's going to try a 6 or less on the West Mine to get it fortified, and he does. I do not have a good fortify token. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a blue chip down, but I'm going to make it big, too big. So there's our little fort. That cost a material, which we're going to burn from there, and cost 2 commands. Oh, they absolutely do. 100%. Everybody does, by the way. The goblins need more troops too. They're also not pulling them. So the goblins now have 3 commands to spend. Ooh, I don't like where this is going though. Got a lot of archers, some militia, and some field fortifications. Now, arguably, those fortifications are not all that, but he does have a little bit of field fortifications there to help stop our bad guys. It would certainly help blunt the charge of the chargers here. What do we got? We got 2 archers, 3 regulars, 1, 2, a militia, oops, and 2 archers. So, oh, no, 3 regulars. So we have 3 regulars, 2 archers, and a militia behind a fortification, which ups their defense and soaks some hits right now. Just a couple. But even so, that can be fairly powerful. That can definitely turn the tide. Croag has 1, 2, 3 riders, which would normally be pretty terrifying, but against the fortification, they're going to be a little blunted. So this is not a good, it's not the best way to charge a fortification with just with not enough guys. So what do we do with our 3 points? I'm going to move Croag down by himself, strangely enough. So that cost me 1. And then I'm going to recruit down here and try to get Wolf Riders again. So 4 or less. Gosh darn it. That sucked. Okay, well, 1, 2, 3. Croag sneaks off in the night and tries to call Wolf Riders. So we got humans by 4. The humans are going to spend their 4 trying to get the mine up. That's unfortunately a 4 or less with our guy. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think we'll do that with East Mine also, but it's a 6 or less because the con is actually strangely. He fails. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Magic Realm luck now. Ten and 9, single point. I'll spend a material to spend 2 commands instead of 1 command. Voltius will recruit regulars. I think at a 4 or less, and he will fail to get them. And I think the goblins will... Sure, they will also spend a single material and 2 commands to have Croag try his 4 or less attempt again. Yes, and he does. So we're going to spend a manpower, 2 material. So that burns that one and that one. And the manpower. But he grabs a rider from... And he's out of manpower, so that's interesting. We got to pay attention to what he can do, because he can only run 6 guys. He's a rank 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and his last guy is 6. And that's it. 8 and 10. Oof. It comes back every turn based on the size of the settlement. So the settlement is a 2. It's a 2 and 12, 4 and 12, 2 and 12, and a 3 and 12. So it's slow to come back. You can. I am going to. Do I have anything to do? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to spend right here. I'm going to try to grab. I'm going to grab a warrior down here at 4 or less. So the goblins spend out. That, nope, not quite. Okay, done. And now the humans have 2 points to spend. Oh, thank you, Asim. I appreciate it. It's randomy. It's very dicey. So let's keep that in mind. I like that because half the time, more than likely, I'm playing myself. So I like that randomness because it means that I'm more uncertain. You know what I mean? As to the what do you want to call it? The outcomes of anything. Well, but doing that's going to leave you open, Raven. Like, I mean, that is true, right? Like if you, like even right now, if Thompson runs down, then the con might have to be pulled off of that mine, right? Now, what we do need, I'll tell you what you need. You need one more leader somewhere on one of these sides to give you that tactical flexibility. Like even one guy with like 2 units or something to go and just play chicken almost. So I'm going to, I just haven't, right? I'm trying to get one of these mines up and running, and I just haven't been able to. So that's part of the problem. I'm like, man, I can't get anything going. So that's all. That's sort of where I'm at. So I think I am going to that end. How many men does Thompson have on him? So he has 4 guys. If we can get that regular on him, that'll be his 5th guy. Now he can run 6 guys now because of his rank is 1. But boy, would I love to. So let's, darn it. Okay, so we're going to use our 2, 1, 2, and pull this regular down, and we'll start 1, 2, 3 for the militia coming down too. Leaves the logging camp open, but that's a bit of a jaunt. And the humans go again, and we're going to pull 1, 2, 3. So this guy goes there, and that's 1. And then that's pretty much, I think, it. I don't think we can't move him again, this impulse. And so we spend out, and we are done. 2 material, 1 goes here, 1 goes here for now. And we are back to, so what, I don't even know what turn this is. I think this might be turn 5 or something. I haven't been moving that marker. So far the humans still have the advantage in points. So let's see what we got. So first thing is first. Manpower. I think Skulls gets a 3 in 12 chance, and it does retrieve a manpower. So we're going to dump one there. They're back to their max. This guy hasn't used any. The camp gets a 2 in 12 chance, but no manpower back. So no more Wolf Riders is really the point at the moment. Yeah, that mine is fortified, and that's going to do a fair bit of good for our guys here, for our men there. I might still hit it to see. So 8 to 5. So we're going to get a 3. And yeah, the goblins win by 3. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, done. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to have to leave someone behind because he cannot run 7 guys at once. And so I'm just going to, they're all stacked, but I might put those rabble sort of off to the side momentarily to think about whether I want to take them up there into battle. Now, the nice thing about rabble and stuff like that is it's great to take hits off of your putzes, but on the other hand, it's also bad to take hits off your putzes. Oh, by the way, I have to give these guys all their resources too, because the more hits you take and dudes that you get casualties, the more chance you have of losing the battle, right? So we spent 3 on the goblins to move Croag back to his spot. Now we have 3 up here. I'm going to use 1 material to spend 4 instead of 3. I'm going to try to get this mine up. So there you go. So 4 or less. Nope. I can't do it. We just can't do it. Skulls cannot figure out the workings of the mine. Just can't do it. Goblins by 5. We're gonna give our con here his chance. 6 or less for the con. Oh, and he does. Okay, so he has to spend his 4 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what. So wait, we were here and we spent 1, 2, 3, and they spent. Got it. Okay. They spend 4 points down. Got it. So now we spend 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got this mine going. So here's what it costs us to do that. It costs us either 4 material to do that, which we don't have, or you can pay a manpower to reduce that to 2 material, or you can burn 2 manpower to make it cost you no material. Huh. I'm going to spend 1 manpower, and I'm going to burn my 2 material, 1 from here and 1 from the general pool. The mine is now up and running. So what I'm going to do to denote that is I'm going to make the words green. No, that's a terrible. That does not look right. Let's make them I cannot get a good. Let's go orange, because that will stand out against that, I suppose. I don't like that either. I don't like any of those colors, to be quite honest with you. I don't like any of that. It's all bad. Green's good enough. Done. So that mine is active now. That gives them 2 more commands, not today, but next turn, and 1 material and a victory point each turn. So now they put pressure on the humans because in 2 turns they'll be tied, in 3 turns they'll be ahead, and so on. That was 4 of their points, and the 5th one, I think they're just going to burn Blue. Oh my God. I think you're a genius. Hold on. Let me make that blue. There we go. It does stand out at blue. So perfect. So they spent from 12 down to 10. This is their 5. Right. But they have 1 point now, which I don't know what to do with. So I think I'm just going to spend it and be done. Now the humans get 5 points to spend. So, I mean, we're going to have what's his nuts try to do the thing again, get this thing running again at a 4 or less. And he doesn't. He spends 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 5th point will be moving this militia in for Thompson. And wow, we're fumbling all those chips right there. Okay, done. Humans by 1. Wow, I don't know. We're going to spend a material to spend 2. Voltius is going to grab a regular at a 4 or less, and he succeeds. So we're going to burn a manpower. We're going to burn another material. Voltius gets a regular. Done. The goblins have 2. We're going to recruit a warrior here at a 4 or less. But no. Goblins by, well, 3, because this is as much as they can do, right? Goblins by 3. The Croag has 4 riders. He can either take the rabble with him and not quite make it. We're going to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because remember, as long as they have a hillman in their thing. Now, Skulls, we look to see if he has any scouts. And he does not have any scouts. They would have S's in the top corner. The woodsmen, I think, are the only scouts for the humans. If so, he would be able to react and possibly move once someone entered his zone of control. But he wouldn't want to anyway, but he could. And they spent 1, 2, 3. And now we are up here. And now, I mean, the funny part is, you know, this battle doesn't look terrible for Thompson all of a sudden. His deputies are as good as the Goblin Rabble, if not better. His woodsmen are fine. His militia sucks, and he has 2 regulars. All right, see you, Raven. Good to talk to you. So Thompson actually looks like he could make some danger for the Khan. So I'm going to activate him and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then with our extra point, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and move him alone. Done. And that's it. And we are done. And the humans can put their material somewhere, and the goblins can put their material somewhere also. As far as manpower goes, let's look at skulls. That's a 3 or less, no manpower. The wolf den here at Croag's camp, nope. And the Khan's camp is a 4 or less, and it does indeed grab a manpower. So we need to start recruiting there heavily. And we need, actually, I hate to say it, we need another dude. Like the goblins need one more guy to go up and try to almost intercept. Because Thompson might be able to outmaneuver the Khan with his lower initiative score. I'm going to pretend this is turn 6. I have no idea. Oh, let's give everybody their stuff here before we check that. So the humans get 14 and 3, and the goblins get 14 and 3. And a victory point because they have the mine, and pulling points out of the mine gives you a victory point. Done. Let's re-roll all these here to start rounds, to start impulses. Ooh, humans by 5. Oh, see you, man. So Thompson has to watch out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's only in supply to here. So we can't just go wandering all over the place. We do have to be a little bit wary of our supply situation. But ideally, we'd be in striking distance. Supply goes 6 from a depot. So if we could put supply here, and we have a woodsman, so actually I think he doesn't take any penalties for moving through the woods, so that's important to note. So 1, 2, 3, maybe he puts supply here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the problem is supply. If he puts supply right here, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If he puts supply right where he is, he can actually attack. So I think we're going to do that. So we're going to try to drop supply. I want to stack these up real quick. We're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So costs 2. So he has, what does he have? He has 5 to spend. So 2 of them are going to go into dropping supply. With his logistics of 2, I think he has a 10 or less chance to get supply out the door, and he does. And we're going to use material from here to do it. And we get a supply chip, a supply marker here. So he drops supply. That's 2 points. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's going to go for 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to go there. That's 4. And then the humans, are going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to slide that guy right in. It's going to make that fight crappier for Croag, unfortunately. Oh, I don't like where this is going for the Great Khan either. This is not good. We might have underestimated Sheriff Thompson here. And I did not write that he's a dude, but I want him to be as good as Skulls in battle, but did not put it on the sheet. So we're gonna have to live with that. So what to do? Let's recruit down here warriors at 4, and we get one. So it's a manpower, a material. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're spending 5 commands anyway. So manpower, material, a warrior appears down there. And then Yeah, this battle's turned bad. All right. We're going to go for it here just to see. So Croag jumps. He spends the other 3, and he's going to jump Skulls here. Now, keep in mind, Skulls has a field fortification up. So that's going to be a little defensive. Defense. So these guys get a plus to defense, 1 because of the fortification, 1 because of the hills. Skulls is there. We got some regulars, some archers, militiamen, 2 more regulars, huh? Okay, well let's take a look at how that's going to look for us. So we have to form 1 to 3 lines, pretty much. Let's put our militia down here. So we form a front line and then a support line, with the archers are gonna of course shoot. Skulls could fight, but he will choose to fight from the rear. And we have a +2 defense, 1 because of the hills, and 1 because of this fortification. Croag is fighting from the front, because of course he's going to become a barbarian there. Now he cannot charge against that wall yet. He has to wait. We have to get the fortification down. But the field fortifications only have 2 hits, so it's not like a huge deal. But it definitely stops a first turn charge. So we're all frontage. Takes a couple hits, gives us a huge defensive bonus, +2, not huge, but a big defensive bonus. And yeah, I suppose we're all fighting in front here. He's gonna go for it. He's gonna be all ready to rock. Let's see how this goes. So round 1, so combat is 3 rounds. Round 1, I will move this die here. So first, before we even go to round, so this is the other problem with Croag, by the way. He effectively gives Skulls 2 cards because he is that bad at command. So we're going to shuffle the little battle plans deck here and go 1, 2, and 3. And so what do we get? We get Orderly Retreat. We don't like that one. Kill 'em all isn't great either. And then Reckless Charge. Wow, he gets the worst possible commands that he could get for his current position. We're going to play none of those first round. And just let this go. So, all right. So, melee. We still get to do melee. Like the fortification, we don't have actually any rules for like walls or sieges or anything. This fortification effectively takes 2 hits. It has its own defense of 4, so it's like a unit that can soak at a 4. Plus its 2 is a 6, so it's actually pretty tough. And like I said, it can soak 2 hits, so it's going to eat actually a lot of the potential damage here until they can drop it with the 2 hits. So first thing is first, these guys are going to attack. So round 1, we're at the melee step here. So first, we'll do it in steps. The first thing you do is declare a charge if you have one. We don't have one because you can't charge as long as that fortification's up. Done. Then the archers will shoot. So first, now the archers shoot. They get a 3 in 12 chance to hit. They get 2 dice, 1 for each unit. So we hit on 3s. There's our dice over here. And you see we score a single hit. That's this 2. Round 1, the attacker gets to place... Oops, I need a... bring a black bowl of go markers here. So the attacker gets to place the first hit, and then you alternate attacker-defender. So the attacker is going to shoot... Ugh. That's where these 2 hit points suck. We're going to shoot a rabble. So there's a hit on that guy. That's the archers. So now we roll to soak that hit. It's a 2 or a 1. The only thing that soaks on a rabble, and he is killed before the fight even starts. So that rabble goes away. That's going to count against them when to determine the winner of the fight. And now we're in melee step. Melee step is everybody rolls. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 at 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they can't charge. That's one hit. The attacker would normally get to place it, but the defender gets to place it because of the fortification. So we're going to put it there, of course. Croag hits on a 5. He fails. And the rabble hits on a 2. And he does hit. I mean, I suppose. Now he has the option to either put it on one of these frontliners or to put it on the fortification. I am going to. Oof. Okay. I'm going to put on the. I don't know. That's a good question. You put on the fortification, and if I roll poorly, then that fortification is gone. And now the next round, my guess is Croag and the Riders charge, because that's going to effectively double their dice. If you put it on the militia, then and I got to think about that. Like, is that okay, or should we not allow them to use the field for fortifications like that? You know what I mean? Let's think about that. So if we didn't, let's say we go, okay, I'm going to put it on the militia and keep the fortifications up. Then so what I'm trying to decide here, do all initial hits have to go against the fortification until the fortification is dead in the water, or can the defender choose to spread things out in hopes that the fortification stays up for the entire combat? I don't know. For purposes of this test, let's assume the defender can place all of his where he wants to put them, as long as they're either on the front line. So he's going to put that one on the militia. So there you go. So now they do get to attack before this guy potentially dies. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hits at 4. That looks like 2 hits. So this is round 1 still, right? So the attacker gets to place 1. No, wait. Yeah. The last one was archers. The attacker gets to place 1. We're going to place 1 on the rabble again. And then the defender gets to place 1, and he's going to put 1 there. And now we roll. Everybody rolls to soak hits. So over here, we got a 2. Oops, nope. Forget it. Let's hold on that one. Done. We got a 2. So this guy's a 2. Does he soak? He does not soak. He is dead. We have a 3. He does not soak either. I'm going to grab a manpower chit and call that, because that's a hit, right? And he has 2 hit points. That's what the asterisks are. The fortification soaks on a... So it soaks this, so there's no hit there. The militia soaks technically on a 4 or less. And he does not, so he actually perishes on the walls. So that was round one. I don't know what happened to our die, but it went away. So it should be round two now. We would reform our lines if we indeed needed to. I still don't think we have anything that we can play really. And so we are straight to the archers. They hit on a 3. And that's one hit. The defender gets to place the first one on round 2, and on round 3, he will place it on the rider. And the rider will try to soak. And he does. Now we have 4 attacks at 4. No hits. 1 attack at 5. No hits. Wow. So depressing. So these riders against this fortification are just failing, effectively. 4 hits at 4. That's 1 hit. The defender will place that on a different rider. And he will attempt to soak that. No. So round 3, and we're going to try to retreat. Croag could attempt to retreat on an 8 or less. +2 because he has all riders, all charged cavalry units. So at 10 or less, he could retreat. I'm going to let him try to retreat. And he succeeds. So he backs out of the fight. These partial hits go away. These guys back out of the fight. They are done. Skulls does hold the field. So now what we do is once battle is over, let me look at the actual battle order here. So once the battle is done, obviously we are the quote unquote loser, but we did retreat. We do roll for each unit that was in a casualty. So we got 2 units. They're 50-50 whether they come. They literally either 1 through 6 they return to play, and 7+ they are dead. So the 2 rabble are both dead. So they are actual casualty. The militia he returns. So the men repel the riders with no losses to themselves. We check each leader to see if they are injured or killed in the action. So we will check for skulls first. It's a 1 in 12 chance. And a 1 in 12 because he didn't. Nope, he's fine. It's 2 in 12 for Croag because he led from the front. He was not eliminated in the battle, and he did not lose 50% or more of his troops. So 2 in 12, no. So both leaders are okay. Now we determine whether either side is demoralized. The winner has a 2 in 12 chance of being demoralized, but +1 chance if their 50% of their force is militia, rabble, or irregulars, no. -1 if the entire force is professionals, no. +2 if they lost 50% or more, no. -2 if they lost no when all casualties returned, yes. So they have no chance of being demoralized. They are thrilled with how that went. Croag, on the other hand, has a 4 in 12 chance of being demoralized because he had to flee the battle. And I have to write that in because it's not currently typed up. Flee, but we did that last time. 4 in 12. Again, not 50% is fun, but strangely enough, all their remaining forces, not professionals or veterans, so they only have a 3 in 12 chance. Done. So 3 in 12 to be demoralized. 2. So they are demoralized. Ooh, okay. Well, that's interesting. So let's stack these bad boys back up. Demoralized gives you -1 to everything, moves, attacks, defenses. You can't try to fight anyone if you're demoralized. And I'm going to put a manpower chip on them to indicate they're demoralized. And at the end of the turn, you have to roll to lose a unit every turn. 6 and 12. So that did not go great. Oh, Skulls also gets another experience point because he participated in a battle, as does the Croag, though, because he also participated in a battle and lived. That's largely it. We're pretty generous with that. And I think that was the impulse. I should have wrote down where they're at so I could just refer to, because that's the only problem is the battles happen immediately, right? And so on. So that is a little bit of an issue sometimes because because you can lose track of where you're at. So that's something to keep in mind just from a design standpoint is it's great to have these complicated battles, but it's bad to understand then where you're at in the game as a whole. So, oh well. 6 and 5, goblins by 1. Oh, that is terrible. I don't think. Don't know that the guy. It's only one, but the humans have a lot of. We're gonna move that guy 1. Done. So they spent their 1. I think we burn a material. Oop. We're gonna spend 2 because we got Thompson here. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that's interesting because we can capture this supply. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, just right there. And I'm going to capture this supply. So now we're in supply. They're not in supply. Done. Oh, and that's one thing that we've done wrong. we've given this supply way too much range. We've given this 8, when in reality it's only 6 for the depots. That's my fault. That was bad on my part. We're gonna let it stand for now. Yeah, like it's 7 away. And that's 8 away. So that's way not close enough, really. Yeah. So let's do this. We'll actually, did I just lock the entirety of, God damn it. So let's retcon this a little bit. If we move this here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, done. And then that's fine. There you go. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna retcon this. They had that there. And there you go. So Thompson cuts off the east mine. And again, that's why he's dangerous. So now the goblins get 8 to 3. So 5. They're up by 5. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then of course 4, 5. So now we have to. So now the goblins are thinking we've got to really make a choice here, right? Like there are choices to be made. I think I'm going to. I'm going to move the con 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 3. 3 of 5. I'm going to move this guy 1, 2, 3. Puts him just out of reach of Thompson right now. That's 4. We have one more point. I'm going to burn the 2 material, even though that hurts me, so I can spend 2 more than I should to try to rally him. And his chance to rally is what? 6, 8? What's rally? 8. But it's command, right? Yeah, command -2. So 6. He only has a 50-50 chance to rally. He is that. He doesn't. Oh, that was expensive. That was an expensive fail. And now the humans get 5 points to spend. And he can't get there. So that's where he can only move 4. And now the con's at least putting the tiniest bit of pressure. Oh, wow. Oh, that might have been a really good move. Holy crow. Okay, okay, let's think about this. Time out. How many do we have to spend? We have 5 to spend. Let's make that 6 to spend. So we're going to spend a material here. I'm going to spend 6. Thompson has to move. So here's the reason. The Khan next turn could just pop out the rabble and just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Take this. Thompson's now all of a sudden out of supply. Very, very dangerous. Now all of a sudden his dudes. Well, he's not out of supply because he actually has this supply. So that's not true. So he's still vaguely okay. So like I said, the humans have 6 to spend. Skulls is going to come out of his... Now this is dangerous because... Oh, wow. Okay. It's dangerous because I can't handle chips, presumably, would be the answer to that. This is dangerous because now you might face a charge. But these guys are weakened. Do you go for the kill? Yeah, I'm going to say let's go for it. So we're gonna do 2 things. We're going to move Thompson. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want these guys hooking up. And yeah, if he takes his supply back, so what? We can jump the warrior then. And then Skulls attacks. Now he's no longer in his fortification, so let's keep that in mind. The defender in the hills gets the +1 defense, and that's going to be the demoralized guys. So +1 defense. But we also get a -1 defense because demoralized. And frankly, a -1 attack. So we flip these like that. And so we have a 0. I just wanted to show where that was all coming from, right? Still, these guys are dangerous because they could still manage a charge. They're still allowed to charge even demoralized. They still can utilize their combat strengths as best they can. Let's see if this pays off for Skulls and his boys here. So we got our regulars out. Militiaman. Skulls will fight, maybe? Oh, God, maybe that's a bad idea, but we're going to fight. We're doing this. And that's where we're at. We do get 3 cards, so we're going to shuffle these back into the deck and pick 3. And the reason we get 3 is because Croag gives us 2, and then we get 1. We can force them into a marsh or a muddy patch or whatever, or we can put a stream in the middle. No, I'm not going to just attack them with melee. I'm going to put them into the marsh. And that's going to pile on another minus attack and minus defense. Until they claw their way out of the marsh. Oh, I don't like that. We're -2 attack, -1 defense total. That is terrible. We could claw our way out of the marsh effectively, not taking an attack for a round, and get pelted by them. Charge on round 2, maybe. We don't know what cards they have, but charge on round 2. And then probably fight normally on round 3 and hope for the best and see how that goes. I think that's what we're going to do. So they are going to choose to leave the marsh by foregoing attacks, ending the penalties. So that's going to kill these things, but they're done attacking. Like they're done. The archers get to go. They hit on 3s. And they do get a hit. The attacker gets to pick first where that attack goes. And he's going to go with Croag. He's going to actually put on the leader. We're going to try to crush them right now. These guys aren't moving, so they are walking out of the marsh. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks at 4. Skulls is attacking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the defender will get to place 1 hit. The defender will place 1 down here. 1 on a 2. Nope. And there you go. Those are the hits. Okay. Croag defends on a 5 because he's that tough. And remember, these canceled out and they're crawling out of the marsh. So they actually have tossed that card already. I don't know if that's how it should go or whether they should take the penalties for a round, but so Croag defends on a 5, and he does. So that hit goes away. This guy defends on a 3. He does not. So he takes an honest-to-goodness hit. So he has a hit point on him. So far, no one's lost. So that's the end of round 1. Croag could try to retreat at a 6. If he fails to retreat, he takes a -1/-1 then for the next round because he's effectively just trying to get out of dodge. But he can charge this round. So I'm going to say that he is going to not escape. These guys are going to escape playing orderly retreat, which means if they fail... So that, unfortunately, that was a little bit of a non-event, that attack. So do they just go for it? Just they let it ride? Yeah, I'm going to say they let it. They're going to fight. They're going to fight. Or they put the stream up. And the stream means that these guys can't attack unless they try to cross the stream. And that's going to be a -1/-1. So again, they could charge across the stream. Yeah, we're going to put the stream. So we have to declare a charge. And we're going to have to. We're going to have to try to charge across the stream. So we are going to charge. These guys declare their charge. These guys put a stream up. So we're going to take a -1 and a -1 again. So archery first. The defender gets to place the first one of these, and 1 goes, and it is a hit. And the defender will put it there. Done. These guys get to charge. That is 8 dice at 2, because these guys are -2 to hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 dice at 2. So they get across the stream, 1 hit. The defense gets to place that hit. They will place it on... that sucks, though, a little bit, strangely enough. They will place it on... Skulls, I suppose. Croag gets 2 dice at 5, 4, 3. He's going to get a hit. And he's going to try to place it on Skulls. So, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have done that. But I don't want to lose anyone because I don't want to be the loser of this fight, weirdly enough. Now we get 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks at 4. Two hits. So the defense placed a hit. Now the attack gets to place a hit. And now the defense gets to place a second hit. 1 attack from Skulls at 4 again. That's another hit, which the attacker is going to place here, I suppose. And then the militia at a 2. That's a hit. The defense places it here. Sure. Wow, lots of hits. We're defending at a 2. So these guys, 1, 2. Well, I guess that's 1 fail and 2 fail. So this rider is eliminated. 1 hit at defense at a 2. That is the confirmed hit. Defending at a 2. Hit is confirmed. Defending at a 2. Hit is confirmed. That rider is eliminated. Oh, wow. Skulls, though. 2 at 4. This could suck. This could suck. He soaks 1. The second is a confirmed hit. Ugh. I mean, we're going to retreat on a 10. And he succeeds, so he backs off. So we roll to see if these guys come back. 1 through 6, they do, and 7 through 12, they are killed. So first guy, second guy. 1 is dead, 1 returns to the field. So Croag retreats. Skulls wins that battle. And ends up here. He is already demoralized, so there's no less demoralized, I don't think, for him. This rider is eliminated. So he chases him out into the hills. Now, both sides have to then roll for leaders. Both fought from the front. I don't think anyone lost 50% or more. Neither was eliminated in battle particularly, but both fought from the front. So, 2 and 12 for Croag. No. 2 and 12 for Lord Skulls. No. Both of them survive the battle. They both get an XP, which I have to level up Skulls here and Proag at the end of the fight there. And demoralized. Skulls actually has a chance to get demoralized, but they didn't lose. No, they didn't lose anybody, so they're fine. And that's it. That's the end of the combat. And for the most part, I think the turn, but they both have a point sitting somewhere. The goblins get to spend their point first. I'm going to go 1, 2. Does he have any scouts? So I can't, if he has a scout, which he does, the woodsmen are scouts. So if you move adjacent, he can jump you, potentially. So he is here. Where does this warrior going? Where does it make the most sense for him to go? Is the question. Instead, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move my one guy, move him 4. Now he's leaderless, so that sucks if he gets jumped effectively. Done. And the humans do also do that, or do they just suck it up and just go, no, I'm good. I think we move Volits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got to get him up and running here because, and we're going to put our extra material here. The goblins have 1 extra material to place, and it's going to go here. And that's it for the turn. That was a rough turn for Goblin Kind. I think the goblins need to start with a tiny bit more, but not a ton more, but a tiny bit more, just to offset their less commanders and so on, right? I think that's the danger there. So, a couple things happen. Beginning of the turn, we're going to check. Skulls does not get a manpower. Proag's camp does not get a manpower. The Khan's camp does not get a manpower. We're up to 14, 14. 14 and 14. 3 and 3. And they get 1 more victory point. So it is effectively tied. But I don't know for how long. This looks like it's going to go. It feels like the goblins are not in command right now, but I'm not 1,000% sure. The goblins are going to win the first initiative by 3 points. Now, here's the thing. These guys can move, but they can't. They're not allowed to end around these. They can't move adjacent. They can't take anything until they rally. So that sucks. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a material from here to go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goblins go by 4. And they go 1, 2, 3. And the Khan goes 1, 2, 3. So he's going to pick up his extra warrior. And done. And now the humans have 3. Now, unfortunately, I feel, well, we might still be safe over there, knowing that they can't. Now they could magic us pretty hard if the goblins rolled a big initiative. But it would have to be like, I'm going to move Thompson for 2, so we have to spend 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Right? So we're going to spend 3 no matter what. Thompson is 2 of that. I'm going to jump this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Then Volitz is going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Done. We'll fight the combat, even though it's sort of silly to fight the combat. Thompson gets 2 of these. This guy is leaderless, so he's -1 to everything right now if he's facing off against a leader guy. And sure, we'll play reckless charge. So we roll a d6 plus calm, so that's 6. So we can put literally 6 guys into a charge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In other words, and he's not leading from. He might have to lead from the front to play that card. We should put somewhere that's the case. So there you go. So these guys are in a charge. Which is crazy, of course, and that's fine. So they roll an insane amount. So 2 at 5 because they're charging. That's 2 hits. 3 at 4. No hits. 1 at 3. That's the militia. No, so 3 hits. He'll attack back at a 1. He hits. So strangely enough, he does get a hit. The attacker gets to place it. So he's going to place the hit on a regular, weirdly. That's sort of funny. And now he has to defend against 3 hits at a 1. And he does not. He is dead. And the regular has to defend at a 2 because they are charging recklessly. And he does not. He actually also gets capped. and the charge is over and the combat is over, but that might not have been the exchange we wanted, Sir Thompson, Mr. Thompson. Did the regular die? 1 to 6, he survives. He does. He comes back. Does the rabble make it? No. And he is killed. I need a way to restack trivially. Oh, come on. Way too much bounce in that. So Thompson does manage to regain his supply there. And kills the rabble. But the Khan did meet up with his warrior, so that was good. So we did our 3 points. And we are ready to roll again. Yeah, the only thing I don't love, I will say, is simply that there is, because things can interrupt the turn, you do have the danger, still drinking the David E., and it's a 47%, so it's a 94 proof. Batch number 16 bottle, 8A66 or 886 or whatever. I don't know where it, Hidden Still, distilled, aged, and bottled at Hidden Still Inc., Hershey, PA. So there you go, it's a Hershey, PA. So that's my sort of vibe, right? The only problem you have is because you have this impulse back and forth thing, and stuff can happen in the middle of the turn, you have a little bit of that where you're like, what the hell did I just do? And for instance, I do have to level up 2 of my guys here. So let's do that now. So both Skulls and Croag actually get to try to level up. I'm not going to rank Skulls up because I think there's no way I'm going to be able to field more than 10 units anyway, which is what rank 2. He's the boss, so 10 units. Rank 3, you get like 14 or something, and that's fine, but I'm never going to get that many in this scenario with the way it's going. So we're not going to rank him up, but we will level him up. So no chance for his initiative to drop or to go worse. Can we make his initiative go better? I suppose we could make him a 3. We could try on a 5 and 12. Never thought about that. So 5 and 12. 5, I suppose, is sort of considered the crappiest, right? The 0. 4 is a +1. So 4 is a +1. So it's a 4 and 12 to do it. I'm going to spend 3 material to make it a 7 and 12 to lower his initiative by 1. Yes. That was his primary. Thompson's the other one with that. And I do not have. Darn it. I need to shrink this to about that size. I think that's the correct size. So we're going to put a mark on him to note that his initiative is lower than it should be. And now we need to attach it. So Skulls has a 3 initiative, which we will now also denote down here. So stirred by the battles, he regains a little bit of that old sergeant that he was back in the day. That would be my take on it. He also has a secondary stat he can try to raise. That's a 3 in 12. His combat is 1. We'll try to make it 2, but that is a 2 in 12 since it's already a +1. No, he does not succeed. So that is his level up. Proag gets to go. We're not going to rank him up. Instead, we are going to level him up. So he gets 2 shots. Again, a 5 in 12 and a 3 in 12. For the 5 in 12, we're going to try to get his combat stat up. No. Oh, crap. Do we have any material? We do. No, we're not going to use it. Okay, we didn't use it. We're going to also try a 3 in 12 then. And we do get it. So his combat is now -1. Okay. Instead of -2, so he only gives 1 card to his opponents now. Woohoo! I'm going to put it above. Yeah, well, no, we got to put it above. I got to see from this angle. I still have to see that number, right? Even if it blocks his name the tiniest bit. Okay. So, still demoralized, by the way. And we can put here that his stat is now a -1. So our guys have leveled up. Now it's going to cost them 3 experience to go up. I need to find somewhere there's a what should we call? Okay. We spent a lot of material to do that, so be it. Okay. All right. I think we're rolling again. I think we're back to initiative, I hope. Goblins by 5 again. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to capture this supply. I really needed to make these flippable. That would have been ideal. Darn it. God damn it. I can do that. I can do this. Hold on. Custom. Oh no, it's a witchmacall. Son of a bitch. Okay, hold on. I'm I can do this. I didn't think about it. Objects, components, custom, tile, because tiles get double. We're going to make 1 green and the other blue. I mean, that was the best idea. I think. I think we need to. Here's our flippable supply. Done. So the Khan takes that supply, captures it, starts pushing Thompson back a little bit. And that is his. He spent 3 points out of the 5. Now he has 2 points left. Now we're going to burn a material to get another one and spend another initiative to try to rally Croag. Oh my god, that almost tipped to a 5. I know that doesn't succeed. He fails that roll. Done. Don't like it. I don't like it at all. Now the humans get 5 to spend. Skulls is now a 3. Heck, we should have moved out. And I think he probably should have rolled for attrition too at the end, but we didn't do that. So my fault. Skull's going to keep. I mean, even though it's getting a little bit out of the way, I think we push him back. I think we go for it. So we're going to spend 3 again, and we're going to spend the other 2 up here. So we're going to spend 5. So first thing is we're going to recruit a woodsman, which sort of sucks. Woodsman is 5.5, I think 5 or less. So we do get it. We're going to spend this and a material. Those go away. We get a woodsman for Voltus. Done. And we need support there, much as anything else. So that's the 2, and then 5 skulls attacks again. I mean, if you're so the problem if you're going to sit there, then he sort of might as well try to gut you, right, or slowly bleed you, which is what he's doing. So -1 attack, -1 defense, +1 defense in the hills. So that cancels out. So I'm just going to take these aside for now. So definitely -1 attack. Skulls gets 2 cards now because what's his face is a little bit better. Um, I should add that you can't pin chargers since they're already charging you, kind of, since there's enough stuff that thwarts charges. So I'll think about that. I think that's gonna fly. So we're going to I'm gonna let them charge. But he won't play this then because he knows better. Although he could play Raging River, but he's not going to because he didn't. Right, he wasn't. So these guys are charging. The archers fire 2 at 3. 1 hit. Uh, 6 dice at 3. Ooh, wow, 3 hits. We'll place one on the militia, the defense. The attack places one on skulls. The defense places one on a regular. These guys attack. Oh, well, yeah, he's up there. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 4. Oh, 2 hits. 2 hits. So that was the defense placing. The attack obviously places him there. And then, sure, one on Croag, just as a... Right? So. And then 1 at 2. Come on, Militia. Get the lucky shot in. No. All right, so we got a soak. Does the 2 soak? Right down there. Yes, he soaks, so that's done. Does the 3 soak? No. So he is actually killed. Does Scald soak? He's a 4/4. No, that sucks. Okay. So we're going to put a honest-to-God hit on Skults here. Confirmed hit. Does the Rider soak? He soaks both of them. No, yes, he soaks both of them because he has a +1, -1. Does Croag soak? No, confirmed hit. So right now, Skulls is like, man, I am losing this battle a little bit against these Wolf Riders because the Wolf Riders are so tough because they have double the hit points. They're sort of like the big bad here. Croag is going to reform for a second charge, which he's allowed to do, which means he doesn't get to attack. So it is all us. Archers, 2 attacks at 3. No. 4 at 4. Come on, let's get at least something going here. No. 1 at 2. Wow, that is terrible. No. And then we are going to... I think Skulls is going to flee the combat. He's going to just bust out. And he succeeds. No use taking a second charge. So maybe the pinned ought to work that it has to delay the charge, right? Like maybe, that's probably, that would be the best. All right, we're refighting that with that to see how this goes. Okay, so the regular's back. This is it. These guys declare a charge. We play pinned. We roll a D3, so that's a D6 divided in 2. 1 plus 2. We get 3 units that we can delay till round 2. So these guys do not get to charge on round 1. Instead, they are dodging the arrows effectively. So Croag charges on round 1. So now well, archers go first, though. I suppose we do. It doesn't say they don't attack. They miss. Done. Croag goes. 2 dice at 4. Oops, that's 3 dice. Ignore it. 2 dice at 4, because he's a 5 normally. No hits. 5 and 11. So he misses. These guys do not attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 4. Two hits. Again, the defense gets to pick one. So they'll put it here. The attack gets to pick one. They'll put it there. The militia at 2. The defense gets to place this one. He'll put it there. And that's it. Now we rolled a soak. We soak at 2 soaks at 3 down here. 2 confirmed hits. Proag soaks on a 5. Soaked. Nice. Okay. I think and this card, so this card is done, and the Raging Water is not going to count either because that's to be played at the start of battle. So these guys are going to charge. Croag is just going to fight this round and just be in it. So archers first. 2 at 3. 2 hits. The defense gets to place them. He's going to place 1 here. Nope. Oh, the attacker gets to place 1. So the defense gets to place 1. The attack gets to place 1. You just keep going back and forth, right? Croag is 1 at 5. No. Oh, and I'm sorry. The archers, the art. So time. So he didn't go. The archer's hits do get resolved. So 2 at 3. The left is the topmost one. He soaks. He does not. So confirmed hit there. All right. So now it's melee. So these guys are charging. Croag is just attacking. So the defense placed, the attack placed. Let's do all of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 4s. So defense, attack, defense. The attacker gets to place this one. On him. 1 at 2. Nope. Croag goes. The defender places this one. Oh no, this is attack. This is round 1. So attacker first. We're gonna go for a regular. And then this is 6 at 3. 3 frickin' hits. Holy crap. Defender. Attacker. Defender. Skull soaks on a 4. Oh, that's a confirmed hit. Regular soak on a 3. 1 soak, 2 dead. Ooh, wow, that's getting rough for the men here. 1 soak on a 3. No. There's a death over here. In round 3, it's straight up fighting. Or he could get away on a 10. So it's 4 and 12 to get away on round 1. 8 and 12 to get away on round 2. Do we try to get away and not take these hits? Yeah, we're not going to take these hits. 10 and 12, because +2 because he's all militia and he isn't. So we're going to escape, take these partial hits off. He takes the partial hit off. technically, the men lost that battle. Well, so yeah, so they technically lose the battle. And have to retreat. So the battle was here. Two on the men's side, 1 to 6, 7 to 10. They are dead, I believe, right? Yeah, they're killed. So that was not a good exchange for the men. The rider comes right back to face there. Okay. Didn't lose. So 2 and 12 for skulls. No. 2 and 12 for Croag. No. Demoralized or not demoralized? That is the question. Are the men demoralized? The goblins are. We know that. So, I mean, we sort of lost 6 and 12. And yes, the men are actually demoralized, as is Croag still demoralized. So that was not great. I do think maybe demoralized needs to be a little bit rougher on those guys. But part of the problem is those guys are extremely difficult to deal with at all. And so even demoralized, the 2 hit points means it's hard to take them down. More than 1 hit point is rare on a unit. And indeed, that's sort of where we're at now. So we were here. We got back down and DM'd. These guys held the field, but are still DM'd because they are. But that was not a good exchange for mankind. But they both do get an XP. I do think humans by 3. So we're going to try to rally. So we're going to spend our 3. 1, 2, 3. Rallying is what? 8 plus his combat, which is still a 1. So 9 or less. And he does not do it. And you know what? Croag is going to go because he has seen the tide turn here. But he only has a 6 to do it. And he does. 1, 2, 3. So now all of a sudden, the tide has turned. So I think a little bit of foolishness and hubris on my part with skulls. And hell, if I am Croag, I am charging him as soon as possible. Because, yeah, I mean, that's absolutely 100%. And we're back to initiative. Now, the goblins win by 3, but they're done. So that's you can't spend more than you got. I think they spend out. And then the humans, I hate to say it, they're going to move back into the fortification first before they even try to before they try to drop the demoralize. We're going to put a material in both spots for the goblins. And that sequence was not good for men. And again, I think we are hampered a little bit by not having enough dudes on the board to like block your supply and so on. Because if he goes here, so let's look at the con here. He has what, 3 warriors and 3 no, 3 and 2 now. Thompson is the woodsmen can be melee or they can be ranged. So we have 2 regulars and a woodsman and 2 deputies. I mean, they're not terrible. They're just not. Wow, I have no idea where he was. There we go. Okay. Wow. So I think both sides would do with one more leader on the board. That would help. Because it gives you that tactical flexibility, right? I can defend this point while attacking. And even if it's not a ton of dudes, I don't have to worry about everything being an end around, as it were. Or Croag could actually move across, and then if you had a guy here just pounding, okay, you have 5 rabble and a dude. Yeah, sure. But man, it's going to take skulls quite a bit to meander through and drop supply everywhere. And hopefully by that time you have, now you're defending, your camp. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's good. I think there is something here. Since it's neat, the back and forth is interesting to me. Let's check manpower. I think we have potential to get, nope, so that one is not. Do we get one here? We do. So we actually get a manpower here. So the logging camp has a manpower. Does Croag's camp get a manpower? No. Does the Khan's camp get a manpower? It does. Okay, so everybody gets their stuff. 14. 14. You gotta be kidding me. 3 and 3. But they get a victory point because they're pulling one out of the mine. So actually the goblins have taken charge of the overall total. Let's at least do this one last turn here, at least, to see sort of how this plays. 11 to 8, so the humans win by 3. I think you have to try to get him remoralized here. So 1, 2, 1. Oh God, you gotta be kidding me. 1, 2, 3, and he is indeed rallied. So we rally scouts in the West Mine. Now the goblins get to go. It cost 4 and 4 to train a leader. Well, we only won by 3. We'd have to spend a material just to kick it up to 4, which sucks a little bit. Instead, for now, let's just recruit rabble down in our main town, 6 or less, and we rabble it up. That costs some manpower, but no material. And it does cost us 2 of our 3. And then, frankly, the last one is 1, 2, 3. We're just marching the rabble out. 12 and 9, so we're back to 3 and 3. I don't like it. Let's. We have a lot more material than the goblins still. We're going to spend 1 and drop 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And drop 1 here and 1, 2, 3. And we're going to train a leader. So, first thing we have, strangely enough, is we actually made generic leaders. So we're going to make leader A here. We'll make leader Alan. There you go. Alan. Commander Alan. Okay. So stats. So here's how we do this. So I have them here. I will post these at some point if anyone is interested at all. But they are very, very rough right now, right? Like I said, some of it I'm making it up as I go, quite frankly. So new leader initiative is a D12. So this is humans by 3. So keep in mind that we are goblins get 3. Right? So make sure we remember. Oh, that's cool. I didn't never realize that. Goblins get 3. So humans by 3. So we roll a D12. We're looking for a high number. 4. Not so high. That's an initiative of 4. So Alan here has an initiative of 4. We roll 3d6 for everything else. So combat, Alan is a 0. Diplomacy, not that it super matters. Alan is an 11. Guess what? That's a 0. I think subterfuge. which we don't use for much in this particular version of the game, but we will. Don't you worry. Alan is a -1. Logistics, maybe the most important stat you possibly can have is a 12, is a 0. His D&D stats are very mediocre, by the way. And finally, his martial individual prowess is a, you guessed it, a 0. And there's Alan. We can actually put that in his description. And that is actually I, C, D, slip, S, L, P. That's probably not the right place to put that crap. Yeah, works well enough. No, that's the other only the problem that we have, right, is simply that we need something. Can I copy and paste and make small enough a card? We're not going to bother with it. Okay, done. Good enough. I need to be able to write on these, like, better. And there's no real great way to do that other than there are some items, mods out there that let you stamp something and then put a text box on it. And that's fine, but the caveat is that it's really messy and vaguely ugly and doesn't quite work. And it's a pain in the ass, and it doesn't quite work, so it's not ideal. So okay, the goblins now get their 3 points, their 3 initiative. We did recruit from here, so we are done. And the problem is we have no manpower there, so we can't recruit there. I'm gonna move Croag 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold on, what's he got? It's only riders, so you can actually move 6 through the hills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're just gonna move Croag like that. Done. Four and 8. So goblins by 4. We're gonna move Croag here. 1, 2, 3. Or wait, where was he? 1, 2. I mean, I think he can get there if he's. So we're just going to collect some rabble. And the humans now get 4. We're going to recruit from up here another woodsman. 3, 4, 5. No. So 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. It's 3 and 3. And we have How many regulars? 1, 2. I thought we have 2 regulars, 2 deputies, a woodsman, and a militia. They have 3 and 3. That is, wow, that is way too close. So for 2, I'm going to activate our guy here. So what do we get? We got 4. And we spent 2. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 into the woods. And if he wants to shoot for that, well, he's going to have to beat me to it, I think. No, we can just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, done. Okay. I think that's it. I think we're down to 3, I believe, because we spent from 14. I got to do a better job of that. Humans by whatever. I'm going to have our guy here put down supply at, I think, a 10 plus. And he does. Two, three, four. And then we'll spend our last move getting down there. I mean, so the Khan could shoot the watch post, but he also then needs to worry about the East Mine. And that's why putting supply here was important, because it goes from the watch post to here to the mine, and there's no this almost doesn't matter anymore. Now it does give the Khan a way into the watch post, so that is a thing, but you know. And though the humans would trade the watch post, they would not trade the logging camp for the mine. So maybe we go there with 3 and done. 1, 2, 3. And the goblins are sort of ticking up, so they look like they have got this. So skulls, in terms of skulls, does get a manpower back. The logging camp doesn't need one. The Croag's camp gets one, which is huge because you're looking for riders there. Han's camp. Oops, sorry. That's Han's camp gets one. So there's a big rush of manpower here. Everybody gets their 14. Man, these buttons need to be fucking bigger. You can tell it's late because I'm swearing now. Or you can tell it's a day, Friday. We get 3, and they get 3, and they get one more victory point. So that's sort of where we end up. And I don't know. I mean, right now the goblins are on a winning trajectory. You have to do something else. Like kill someone, take something to leapfrog them. Because even right now, you can just get 1 and 1 every turn if we just trade mine. So let's say the scenario lasted 12 turns or something. The goblins win at this point. The men are behind. And so they would need to push to get this done. Now they do have their buddy here to help them take up the slack, but you're going to have to recruit you're going to have to do you're going to have to recruit. So how many turns is that going to take to get 2 or 3 extra guys to do that? Or you're going to have to go for a lucky bout. So, for instance, I could see Thompson trying to shoot the gap here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and get to the mine, and use his scouts to, because you can. So let's say Thompson. Well, let's see how it plays out then. There you go. So here we are. So whatever turn it is, who wins? If the goblins win initiative first, it probably doesn't even matter. Yeah. So now, does the Khan have scouts? He doesn't have any scouts. There are no scouts in his army. The only scouts are the riders on the goblin side. So you get this thing where these guys are easily moving around. Like they are even more dangerous because, but the goblins have a lot of crap. Material. So I think we are going to do what the humans did. We're going to spend 2, 3, 4, spend a material from here, and we will train a dude. So we will gather a leader. Here. Yuck. I like it. Yuck. Done. There you go. That is his name now. So we're going to roll for Yuck here. What is Yuck's initiative? A 10. Ooh, spiffy. That's a 3. So like most of the goblins, he is a 3. What is his combat? 11. So 0. So combat is 0. We'll wait to the first non-zero stat. 12 is a 0. So combat and diplomacy are both 0s. SLP. Subterfuge. Logistics. Ooh, his logistics is terrible. -3. Subterfuge is 0. Logistics, but his prowess is a +2. So subterfuge, a 0. He's not super sneaky. His logistics is a -3, and his prowess is a +2. I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to paste that into his name and description. There you go. That's easy. And our buddy here, we're going to copy that. It's ICD SLP, so it's ICD slip. So he's not great. The humans now get 3 points to play with. We're going to recruit up here. We're going to recruit militia. So 6. 6 or less, because he has a 0 logistics. He fails. It's 1, 2, 3 is going to be 1, 2, 3. Initiative again. 3. Humans 3. Recruit up there. Militia. Going for the 50-50. We fail it. Then he moves down into the place there to guard. The goblins get 3. We'll Croag is going to recruit Wolf Riders at a 4 or less. Nope. And Yuck here will come up. I feel it's going to be a non-decisive turn, unfortunately. Humans by 1. Ugh, that's great. Voltus will spend a material to recruit another woodsman. And he does. So we get 2. We spend down 2. We're going to get a woodsman. That's a material also. The goblins have a single point. They'll move him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or they'll actually move him 6 to there. Done. Only spend 1 though. Goblins buy 1. Con goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the men. I don't know what we're gonna do. Yeah, Thompson can only run 6 guys, so it's not like so we can't pile on more guys on him. Largely, what we're trying to do is make a garrison. So goblins buy 1, humans buy 1. Oh my god, 1. So 1, 2, 3. And then he ends up there. Okay, so finally we get 4 and 4. So we're going to recruit both places. Warriors. Well, first, the wolves. Nope. Now the warriors come out to play. That's what he says. He says, but his logistics is only 2, so 6. We should have tried to make our chances better. We didn't. Oh, the humans get to go though first. No, I didn't look at that. And we've recruited here, so we are done there. I think our guy is going to try to recruit militia again. So it is 6, and we do. And then we will move 1 to there, and that will be the end of the turn there. And we do have material coming in. We get a manpower and burn that. And the goblins get 3. One. And that would be it. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to save this in my wargame folder. Put war ongoing. Save. So I don't know. I think that was okay. I think it was fairly interesting. It was somewhat indecisive, but I do think the goblins are winning. They're going to be 3 points ahead. So I would argue that they've won this scenario without a big push. And so I would send, Thompson straight down, maybe. Again, I don't have a definitive endpoint for this scenario. I didn't say, it's 3 turns or 10 turns or 20 turns or whatever. But I think the interplay works out fairly well. Obviously, there's not a lot of things for. I do think we should have 1 or 2 more dudes. Or you have to get them early, the leaders. So I'll give it a B minus. I think so far. I think it's okay, but I had fun, so not going to discount that. And I think that's it for the night, though. I think we're gonna let you go. It's almost 12. We've been doing this for 4 hours, so I'm gonna thank Asim Mansour, Bradley Atkinson, and of course Raven Rock for hanging out and chatting a bit. And otherwise, I hope that everybody has a nice weekend. I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave some comments. Like the video if you do. And that's it. I'll talk to you later.